At some point, you learn to turn yourself down. Not all at once, a little here, a little there. Someone said you were too much, and you believed them, or they didn't say it out loud. But you felt it in the disapproval on their face, in the way the room shifted, and you got the message that the version of you that just showed up wasn't the version they could handle. So you adjusted. You learned which parts of yourself were safe to bring and which ones to leave at the door. You figured out how to be enough without being too much. Well, at least you tried to until you couldn't. And eventually, that just became the way you showed up. The life you're living now was built by that version of you, the edited one, the one who learned to fit for them. It looks reasonable. It might even look good from the outside, or maybe it doesn't. But there are moments when something goes quiet in you. A low hum of this isn't quite it. Not something you can always explain, just the feeling that somewhere underneath there's a version of you that never felt accepted. That's not a flaw in you. That's what happens when you spend years wearing a mask. And today, I want to show you what was underneath it the whole time. Here's what I want you to understand about every person who ever told you that you were too much. They weren't seeing you, they were seeing you through themselves. The family member who told you to calm down, the teacher who said you were too sensitive, the manager who said you were bossy, the friend who said you were too intense, and the partner who said you were too much to handle. They weren't wrong about what they saw, they were wrong about what it meant because every one of them was looking at you through the lens of how they're wired. And when you don't move through the world the way they do, the easiest thing for them to do is call you a problem, call you too much, say you needed to adjust, turn it down, or be managed. But it wasn't you. How you're wired was just unfamiliar to them, and unfamiliar feels threatening. So they handed you a verdict that was never theirs to give, and you carried it. You built a whole life around making sure you never triggered that reaction again. Well, or at least you tried to. You edited yourself down to the version that kept the peace as much as possible, not to make anyone uncomfortable, that fit inside the box they decided was right for you. And the life you're living now is the result. Here's what was underneath the mask the whole time. Not a flaw, not a problem, not something that needed to be corrected or contained. The exact way you were created to move through the world. And I want to name it because most people have never heard it named without an apology attached. Some of you have always noticed things other people walk right past, the detail nobody caught, the tension in the room nobody wanted to name, the thing hiding in plain sight that everyone else missed. And you were told you were too intense, too harsh, too much in your head. That's perceiving energy. And it was never the problem. Some of you have always known what people needed before they asked. You filled the gaps. You held things together quietly while everyone else took the credit. And you were told you were too accommodating, too selfless, that you needed to think about yourself for once. That's serving energy, and it was never a weakness. Some of you have always needed to understand things fully before you could move forward. You asked the questions nobody else thought to ask, and you couldn't let something go until it made sense. And you were told you were too slow, too complicated, that you were overthinking it. That's teach ing energy, and it was never a liability. Some of you have always believed in people before they believed in themselves. You saw what was possible in someone when they couldn't see it yet. And you kept showing up with hope, even when it cost you. And you were told you were too optimistic, too naive, and too easily disappointed. That's encouraging energy, and it was never foolishness. Some of you have always given your time, your resources, your attention, sometimes before you even had enough yourself. And you were told you were too generous, that people would take advantage, that you needed to learn to say no. That's giving energy, and it was never a character flaw. Some of you have always seen what needed to happen before anyone else did and moved toward the problem while everyone else was still figuring out there was one. And you were told you were too controlling, too aggressive, too demanding. That's leading energy. And it was never arrogance. Some of you have always felt what other people feel, not just noticed it, actually felt it. Other people's pain lands in you like it's your own, and you were told you were too sensitive, too emotional, too attached. That's mercying energy, and it was never the problem. Now, one of those landed in your spirit differently than the others. You felt it. That quiet internal shift of that's exactly what I was told was wrong with me. That's not a coincidence. That's recognition. And recognition is where change begins. I want to introduce you to Ing energy. That recognition you just felt when I spoke about one of those descriptions, that's not a personality trait. It's not a tendency or a system you got sorted into. It's the energy that was placed in you before anyone had a chance to tell you it was wrong. There are 7 energy types, and every person is created with one that drives everything: how you think, how you love, how you work, how you show up in a room before you've said a single word. It was there before the mask, it was there from the beginning. You just never had a name for it until now. Do you know your ink type? Most people don't yet. That's exactly what the quiz is for. It's free. Your results go straight to your inbox, and the link is in the description. Because what you just felt when one of those descriptions landed, that's not the end of the conversation. It's the beginning of one you probably needed to have for a long time. The link is in the description. If this is the first time someone has ever told you that you were never the problem, subscribe, because finding out your wiring has a name is just the beginning. What comes next is learning how to actually live from it instead of apologizing for it. I've spent decades watching people try to figure out what was wrong with them, and I've watched the moment they realize, like you, nothing ever was. The moment is always quiet. It's not a celebration, it's not a big announcement, it's relief because you've been holding something in for a really long time. And when you finally have language for your ing type, what you find isn't something new. It's something you've always known. It was there before anyone told you you were too much, before anyone handed you a verdict that was never theirs to give. The life you're living isn't yours yet, but it can be. Your identity is your purpose, and it always has been. I'll see you in the next video.